So as I've spoken about on this channel various times, I started my journey to self-sovereignty, self-sufficiency around 23 and a half. And it didn't take me long, probably like 24 and a half, to realize that to live free and on your own terms in this world means that you're going to have some commercial viability and, to a certain extent, commercial success to be able to provide your own energy. And when I realized that, it didn't take me many weeks after to understand that what that really meant is being good at sales and creating offers that sell and doing all of that. And so I started to sell things. And in the time since, which has been about 6 years, across the various businesses, the various offers that I've ran, coaching, the whole hog, I've grossed over $1 million in sales revenue, which, whilst I don't think is jaw-dropping, especially when compared to my peers and various other people I've met along my way and along my journey, it isn't jaw-dropping. It, to me, is a really good milestone that I'm very happy to have achieved. And if you'd have told 25-year-old Josh, who was buying mugs, Marmite mugs specifically from charity shops in England for like £2 and selling them on eBay for £5, that flip Marmite life, I don't think I really would have believed that it would have happened. That was always just such a big number. But I got there, and I did it. And it's afforded me a lot of really, really good intangible aspects of life, i.e., I've had some amazing experiences. I've got to travel the world. I've been to 6 continents, 30 countries, lived extensively and long-term in various places, which has been amazing. Met amazing people, my wife, haven't had a job, haven't had a boss, haven't had to do any of those things. And cash flow is a really important aspect. But on the tangible side, I haven't actually got that much to show for it. I'm still in a rental. I have a paid-off 2005 Subaru Outback, which is a great car in the Midwest for that all-wheel drive winter experience. I have various assets like some tooling, computers, this, that, and the other. But really, on the tangible aspect, I don't have that much to show for it. And I definitely haven't multiplied my wealth in any way. And the reason I'm sharing this is not for a sob story, not even actually close to it. I actually think that having a sob story is the worst trait a man can have. The worst thing he can do for his life is to have a sob story. So it isn't that. It's to highlight a few key points to help in your journey and share what I've learned in mine. And firstly, it's that cash flow is very achievable. You don't need to be naturally good at sales or have any background in it. You can learn it. It can be taught, and you can develop it as a skill. And I think it's mandatory. If a man can't sell, he can't really create his own energy in this commercial world, from my perspective. So it can be learned. If you know how, it's very doable. And it does solve a ton of problems because it affords you the freedom to not have to do what you don't want to do for most of the time. And it really is a big key point, and it probably took me really to get it down, dialed in, probably like 2.5 years, but I didn't have the best mentorship, or I wasn't looking for it. That's separate. I'm an N of 1. It's not going to be the same for you, but cash flow is a very important skill, and it is achievable, and I wanted to share that. But I also wanted to share that the wealth generation vehicle, the wealth generation skill, i.e. taking that cash flow and multiplying it and putting it into assets that grow your wealth, is a completely different realm. It's a completely different mindset, and it's a completely different system. And like many aspects of my life experience, it's not one I was taught. I don't remember having that class at school, like, here's how you turn cash flow into wealth generating assets. I just didn't have that. So maybe you didn't have it too, but I didn't, and that's why I don't teach you. I don't claim to be a rich passive income guru or any of that, because I don't have it just yet, but I am working on it. And I'm working on it through real estate, and I'm kind of getting close to dipping my toes in that, because I know that it is a wealth generation vehicle, turning some of the cash flow that I have into, the wealth generating asset machine. But it's a new skill set. So on your path, if you only have the cash flow aspects, you may end up in a position like I'm actually in right now, and have been in for like 5 weeks, where cash flow is, it's not ideal. But that, again, the fluctuations, no sob story. It's the fluctuations of commerce. It's normal. The dog's losing his mind over here. It's very normal, but you don't want to be there, obviously, with family and responsibilities as a man and stuff you got to take care of. You don't want that. So if you only have cash flow assets, you need to create wealth generation assets too that turn that cash flow into more wealth and more energy. And I don't know whether I ever got that advice or got that input from a mentor, but I don't really remember doing it, or I ignored it, and therefore I am in this position 6 years in where I know how to make cash flow, but the cash flow isn't repeating in the register. So that's a skill I'm working on. But if you have those two in play, life is going to change a lot, because I have met some people who have them, and they all have the tangible assets. They all have the increased peace of mind where they're not dependent on their specific cash flow. They just have farms, so to say, money farms, that turn the harvested, hunted meat into more food, you know. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's important. It's definitely important on my journey, and it could be important on yours too. If you found value in this video, please let me know in the comments. And let's just keep growing, you know. Let's just keep building and working towards self-sufficiency, sovereignty, and a life of freedom. Much love. Have a blessed day. Peace.